Yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Happy Sunday. You guys know the vibes, man. Let's do the damn thing. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What's up, Shay, Coins, Brit, Killmonger, Carlos, Greg, Jaden, Rasta, Jab, Pascal, Rhea. Let's go. Steadfast, what's good, brother? Nice, Steadfast. I'd love to see that you won last week. That's dope. Sandy, Drig, Kyrie, Fleeky. If I missed anybody, appreciate you guys, man. Hope you guys had a great weekend. We got a big week ahead. Super excited for it. Tonight's going to be a crazy night, crazy week. So let's go ahead and get into it. Anybody in news here, welcome, first and foremost. The way that we structure these lives is we're going to go over the economic calendar first, go a little bit over the earnings calendar, then we're going to get into the watch list for the week ahead. And, yeah, man, let's do the damn thing. Everybody good to go? Everybody hear clear? Everybody see clear? Drop a one in the chat for me if everything's good to go. I know there's a little delay, so I'll give you guys a second. And, yeah, man, let's get it. What's good, everybody? What's good, what's good, what's good? So, hope you guys had a good weekend, man. Appreciate every single one of you guys taking time out of your Sunday to come kick it. And, should be a great live tonight, man. Let's do the damn thing. Awesome. Everybody's good to go. Let's get it, y'all. Alrighty. Let me take a drink of water and we'll rock out. Alrighty, guys. Here we go. Alright, everybody's good to go. You're clear, see clear. This is the economic calendar for the week ahead. Starting off Monday, July 29th. That will be tomorrow. No data tomorrow, so we are good to go there. Data really starts Tuesday, July 30th, and that is going to be consumer confidence and jolts at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, that's Tuesday, July 30th. Big data point there. Wednesday is probably the biggest day of the week. That's July 31st. We have PMI to kick the morning off at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have pending home sales at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the most important is we have FOMC statement at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have JPOW speech, the conference, at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is going to be the biggest day of the week. This is going to be a focus for the week ahead. Market is going to definitely react to this data here. It's going to be very important for the upcoming trading days and the overall sentiment moving forward. Thursday, also a very big day, jam-packed day here, starting with jobless claims on August 1st, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we have PMI, which is going to be at 9:45 Eastern Standard Time. And then we have ISM at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got a crazy week, pretty much Tuesday to Friday, every single morning, all day. Very important data. Friday is probably the second biggest after FOMC, which is non-farm payrolls. That is going to be August 2nd, Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have factory orders at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Very big data points this week. Non-farm payrolls, ISM, jobless claims, FOMC. Yeah, man, this is a jam-packed week. This is what a big data week looks like. This is a week where you try to stay away from swinging overnight because that data in the morning can absolutely ruin a good setup. So make sure you guys definitely take heed to that. Focus on those cash flow trades. There should be a lot of value intraday after these data points. Plus, we have this crazy earnings lineup. Earnings season is in effect, which we're about to get into right now. And yeah, man, it's a big week for sure. Very big week for sure. This is our earnings calendar for the week ahead. Let's go into hop into this real quick. First, most notable release is going to be on Tuesday. Pre-market, we have PayPal. All right, that's going to be Tuesday morning. Pre-market, we have PayPal. There is a lot of earnings this week, right? You guys know the drill, right? Every single one of these liquid names reporting earnings, right, that I'm about to circle, highlight, square, whatever you want to call it, these are potential A-plus setups, right? These post-earning setups are extremely high quality. When we have that catalyst, we have that nice gap up, we have that nice gap down. These are incredibly important setups, very high quality, very high probability when we can get those nice charts. So every single one of these names can be a nice potential setup, which is great for us. This means a lot of opportunity, starting with this PayPal release Tuesday morning. Tuesday evening, we have AMD, big name here. Microsoft, even bigger name for the market. Specifically, we got Starbucks as well, Pinterest, another big name. Wednesday morning, we have Boeing. After hours Wednesday, we have Meta. Also have QCOM here. A couple other names sprinkled throughout. mRNA is Thursday morning. Biggest day is probably Thursday, considering we have Amazon, we have Apple, we have Intel. We got a crazy lineup with Coin, Roku, and we have SQ. So this week is absolutely nuts, man. You guys can see why. Economic calendar was stacked. This earnings lineup is absolutely stacked. Crazy week. We have a couple names as well outside of these that I mentioned that I like. We can even go as far as saying we got a setup on potentially Pens. Pens is a fun one to trade. Starbucks is a fun one to trade after earnings. What else do we got here? Got McDonald's, got Tilray's, a fun one. There's a lot of Crocs. Love trading Crocs after earnings. These are a lot of heavy hitters. AMD, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Apple specifically. That's these names here. Amazon, Apple, even Intel, Meta, AMD, Microsoft, those are big market movers, right? Like if you go look at the weightings in terms of Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, they pretty much make up majority of the holdings of QQQ and SPY. So ideally this week we get a couple of these on the same page. We don't want indecision, right? We don't want, say for example, Microsoft to be good and then Meta be bad and then Amazon be good and then Apple be bad, right? We don't want that. We want a couple of these on the same page, right? We want maybe Microsoft to be good, Meta to be good, Amazon to be good, Apple bad, right? Or vice versa, right? We want majority to be good or we want majority to be bad. So that way we have that clear sentiment for the overall market. But regardless of the fact, each and every one of these names, we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, let's say 15 different high quality post earnings setups. So this is a lot of opportunity for us. These are the weeks where real money is made, where we can afford more risk, only if you're comfortable with it, to size up and take advantage of these quality setups, all right? So week like this, very important, especially with FOMC and that big data as well. A lot of volatility, a lot of value. Make sure you guys, like I said, stay away from swinging overnight or trading these names before earnings. That's super important. We don't want to trade them before earnings. We want to wait till after earnings, the dust settles, and then we can go from there. But yeah, guys, that's what I'm watching this week for the earnings calendar, economic data calendar, and yeah, man, we got a very big week ahead. Super excited for it. You guys know what to watch for. Let's get into this watch list. First things first, as always, we're gonna get into futures. We're gonna kick it off with ES here. Let me know when you guys are ready, and we'll go ahead and take off here. So whenever you're ready, just drop a ready in the chat, and we'll get going here. What if they cut this FOMC? I mean, man, I feel like at this point, I don't even know, to be honest, man. The market has been so weird in terms of data. Good data comes out, market dumps. Bad data comes out, market rips. It's really hard to say, but I can confidently say earnings I would put a little bit more emphasis on if we can get a couple of those together, right? I feel like that's most important, especially the names like Microsoft, Apple, Meta, etc., etc. Those are big names. Alrighty, let's get it, y'all. Here we are with ES. We're going to start it off with ES tonight. Monthly chart, pretty much the same, right? We're closing out July this week, so this is super important in my opinion. We've got a big top wick here on this current monthly candle. That's very important. If we can close below that previous month's high, like I said, at 5,600, I would say downside in terms of the chart is the most probable, right? Now, when we're going over these charts tonight, right, I'm looking at the chart. I can't account for any earnings this week. I can't account for any of the data releases because I don't know what's going to happen, right? So when I'm going over these charts, I'm strictly giving you my analysis and my opinion based off the current state of the charts, right? That earnings lineup, that economic data lineup can change these charts tremendously to what doesn't make sense. What might make sense right now might not make sense after FOMC or after Apple, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, right? So these are just overall macro pictures. I'm going to go over my game plan. It's going to be very open-ended, and I just want to put that out there first and foremost. But in terms of this monthly chart, if we closed week here, I would expect more downside. And yeah, that's pretty much here on the monthly. Weekly chart, I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, right, this looks like just a healthy pullback, right? If you want to be very technical, right, this looks like a healthy pullback. Right now we're testing this big uptrend, right, kind of just flagging back into this major demand, right? This looks like just a healthy pullback if you're looking at the weekly, right? Now, given we do have a lot of rising volume on this pullback, but if you look at like the technical structure of this chart, this just looks like a bullish pullback, right? We're retesting this previous all-time high resistance, which is now support, right? So we're sitting at a major high confluence area, right? In terms of this ES chart, right, you can see this is the third test of this major uptrend, retesting this macro demand here. This just looks like a healthy pullback, right, for the market to continue higher. So this is my, as you guys know, you guys have attended a lot of lives, I look for confluence and conflict. Monthly chart, I would consider a little bearish based off the current bar state. Getting down to the weekly chart, I would consider this pretty bullish, right? We're still holding this structure, we're testing this uptrend, we're forming a flag here. I would say that it's a good possibility that we push into new highs, right? It's a good possibility, right? A great possibility, right? So definitely want to keep that in the front of our minds. This chart here does look very bullish, and you guys can see why, right? So that's something to take into account here. Daily chart, on the other hand, I mean, it's a tough chart, right? It's a tough chart. I'm going to go over why in a second. I do like the fact that we have had volume, right? We've had very nice volume recently. But as you guys can see here, this trend line I'm talking about, we've held on multiple occasions. It's a very big trend line support. We're sitting in this major demand, which is going to be this 5430 area, 5400 area. You guys can see this was this big previous resistance in which we're continuing to hold as support in confluence with this trend line support. So demand looks good here, right? But the big game plan is going to be developed here on the hourly, I should say, right? We're kind of just stuck, right? Yes, we're holding this major demand and overall uptrend, but we've kind of flipped here on the hourly, right? We have our high, we have our lower high, we have our lower low, we have our lower high, we have our lower low. So now this downtrend is formed here on the hourly. And this is why multi-time frame analysis is super important, because if you look at the hourly here, this overall structure is pretty bearish, right? You can see, broke this structure, retested, dumped. Broke that structure, retested, dumped. Broke this structure, retested, dumped, right? So if you look at the structure of this hourly chart, it's pretty bearish, right? We have our high, we had that previous structure that was broken, retested, broken, retested. And you guys are wondering how I'm catching these downside moves. Here's your answer, right? Like I've covered this so many times before. Structure is super important. Supply and demand is super important. Every single one of those rejects I took, this is why. Why was I trading 5540 last week on ES? You guys can see. This is why I was trading it, right? It was that massive structure that was broken, turned from support to resistance. I just took the retest. Last week, I covered this 5630 level before it even happened. I said if 5630 broke, I'm going to wait for the retest. That's why I was trading it, all right? Very simple. But hourly chart here, we could argue and say, hey, this is a pretty, this chart is flipped. But if you go look at the the weekly chart, this little downtrend here looks just like a bull flag. So this is where I get that conflict from in terms of multi-time frame analysis. And that's why I want to be very open-minded this week. I want zero bias. I just want to trade what's in front of us. And I feel like the important levels to watch are very clean, right? Very clean. First and foremost, you guys can see here, we're sitting below this major supply. This is going to be 54.45, right? This is the level we need to watch the upside. We're currently testing it, right? Essentially testing the supply. If we fail here, right, I mean, it's likely that we trade back to this 5,500 and then back down into this 54.30, 54.50 area, which we could watch for a demand bounce down here at 54.30, 54.50, right? So this is the current state of the chart. We're just trading in between this big supply here at 55.40 and this big demand here at 54.50, 54.30. So it's a very clean chart in terms of levels. But overall, we have a lot of data this week, a lot of strong names reporting earnings. We need to be looking at the line in the sand levels because these catalysts can move the market substantially. The ATR throughout last week and the ranges in terms of which the market moved, we're talking about a 100-point range here on ES, right? Top of the range to bottom of the range, that's a 100-point move, right? If you go look at SPY, that's a $10 move. These ranges are wide, right? These ranges are wide. So this is why I kind of want to go over these line in the sand levels versus these hourly setups that we were looking to trade previously without these catalysts. So big levels here to watch, 55.40, right? That's the upside. If we show weakness there, I would be interested in a reject. As you guys can see, this is a major supply. But the main watch in terms of sentiment is going to be, hey, if we get back above 55.40, that's where we can look for those pullbacks. We're likely to see a move higher back into this 55.80 and then this 56.30 level, right? So if we do get above that 55.40, it's likely that we do trade back into this major supply here, which we could look for a higher conviction, higher confidence reject. That would be off this 5600, 5630 area here on ES. And that is the sentiment level, 55.40, right? If we get back above that, I would stay away from shorts till we got back into that 56.30. Very, very simple, right? Downside, we have this major level here, 54.30, right? If we come back down, test the bottom of this range, I wouldn't mind testing that long position, right? It would be a bit higher risk, but I wouldn't mind it. Obviously, the main watch is going to be if we break it. If we can get below that 54.30, we should see 5400, maybe even sub 5400 shortly after, right? And below 5400, it's just lights out down into 5300s. So the big sentiment levels to watch this week, big line in the sand levels, 55.40 to the upside, 54.30 to the downside. Very clean charts, major levels, so make sure you guys keep that on watch here for ES. Now, let's get into NQ here. Chart's a lot different, a lot different in the magnitude of which we've moved. If you look at ES, we've only moved about 5% from all-time highs. QQQ is reaching correction territory. Actually, it did technically correct, which was last week. We made a 10% move from previous all-time highs, right? So that technically was a correction on QQQ, if you want to be very technical. And if you look at the monthly chart, it definitely shows, hey, we've seen significant downside, and it's also accompanied with rising volume, right? So QQQ NQ chart here is a lot different, right? Much weaker. If you look at this weekly chart, super weak. We've had rising volume for the past 3 weeks. Same thing with the monthly chart. First time we've seen volume step in a minute. But we're testing a major demand, right? So right now, these charts are very tough. We're in a major demand, and we have multiple catalysts coming out this week. In my experience, the market loves to do this, right? Put us in major areas like supplies or demands into data or into earnings. And the next thing you know, the market makes the obvious move, right? So the obvious move from here, in my opinion, would be a move back to all-time highs. That is why I'm like, hey, okay, if I'm thinking the obvious move is the upside, I kind of want to lean towards the downside, right? But in terms of the chart, you guys can see just as well as I can. Yes, we were weak last week, but we're just sitting in demand right now, right? Where we're testing these overall uptrends. This is the macro uptrend, right? You guys can see this is the third touch of this uptrend trend line support. It's also this previous resistance, which now is support. And we've seen a correction here. So if we were going to bounce from anywhere, I would say from here, right? So in my opinion, if we're going to go back to all-time highs, it's going to be from here. If we fail from here, I think we'll see another 5%, 3% pullback minimum. But levels to watch are very clean here on NQ. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Right now, we're trading about 19.2. Ranges are super wide, so take that into account. First things first, as you guys can see, we have a major level here at 19,400. This is pretty much my main watch. If we can get above 19,400, I would be interested in a long position, targeting 19,500 and then this 19,700 area. This is going to be my main watch. 19,700, 19,650, this huge supply here, which was that structure we broke and flipped that daily chart. So I definitely want to watch this 19,650, 19,700 area for a reject if we get up there. If we reclaim 19,700, that's when we got to say, hey, shorts are off the table. We need to get out of the way. This is likely going to see back into that 20,000 level. Downside, I mean, this is lights out, right? 18,900. If we get below 18,900, shorts are on the table. You can just look for those pullbacks to short. Target would be that 18,700 and that 18,500 area. Very simple chart here on NQ. I like this a lot. Line in the sand for upside, 19,400. That'll get us back into that supply at 19,700. 19,700 is where we can look for that reject. Downside, 18,900. As always, I'm going to correlate this to QQQ and SPY for you guys. But yeah, man, very clean charts here. It's just really hard for me personally, right? Like, usually, I wouldn't even go in this depth. I wouldn't even go in depth this much in terms of the charts because we have all these catalysts this week. Because in reality, the charts really don't matter. I mean, obviously they matter, but the data is going to trump. The earnings are going to trump. So the chart might look good bearish at the moment. Next thing you know, data comes out, we're sitting back at all-time highs. So it's a tough game to play, but you got to be prepared, and that is why I'm preparing you guys right now. That's what I do every single week. Make sure that you guys are not going into the market that week blind. So that is why I'm giving you guys a very open-ended game plan. Same game plan I'm going to trade. Same game plan I traded last week. You guys know the drill, man. All right? All right. Since we're on NQ, let's go and hop at NQ. Or QQQ, sorry. Whenever you guys are ready, you guys got your charts pulled up. I know you guys like to follow along. Let me know, and we'll go ahead and rock out. Let me know when you guys are ready. Awesome. Let's get it. Damn, you guys already crushed that light goal. Jesus. All right, so I owe you guys one giveaway right now. I'm going to go ahead and get that situated here in a minute. We'll do that towards the end here. Let's go ahead and get into QQQ real quick. All right, so the overall structure, right, you guys know is pretty much the same as NQ. We already covered that. Very nice rising volume here on the weekly to pair with this downside move, but we are testing a major demand, and that's what I want to talk about right now. You guys can see here, QQQ is testing this overall uptrend. This is a big test of this uptrend trendline support. So we got a very clear chart for the week ahead. Levels, I was just talking about NQ. I'm going to translate them to QQQ for you guys. So you guys can see here, overall structure of this chart, same thing we talked about last week, right? Remember, last week, this is exactly what we spoke about, right? The chart flipping, right? This is what we talked about literally last week, right? We have the high, we had the lower high, broke that previous low, put in a lower low, put in a lower high. Here we are trading at a new lower low. So in reality, if we want to see continuation to the downside, we need to see another lower high somewhere this week. In my opinion, if we're going to put in a lower high anywhere, it's going to be at this 473, 475. So that's going to be the main watch here. As you guys can see, this is a significant supply. So if we push back into 473, 475, that's going to correlate to that 19,700 at NQ. And this is my main watch for a reject. I think it would even be worthy of a swing entry. Right? You guys can see here, this is a very, very significant level of resistance, structure, huge, right? So if we were going to put in a lower high anywhere, I would personally say here, right? Now, if we reclaim this, that's off the table. But as of now, I think this looks very good, right? We can watch a bit higher risk setup, which would be this 468 level, right? 468 was a significant level from last week. If we can get above 468, that opens that chart up into that supply, right? So if we get above 468, we could look for that pullback to go long back into that 473, 475 supply. And that's my game plan, right? So I'm going to look to go long above 468. Definitely look to take trims at 470. And I definitely want to be fully out by that 473, 475 so I can watch for weakness there. And that's where I'll flip short for a reject off of this major supply at 473, 475. All right? And that's my game plan here on QQQ. You guys can see this is a very, very significant level of supply. So definitely want to watch this 473, 475 area for a reject. We can look for a higher risk long entry above 468 into that supply, but then again, that is high risk. Downside, it's clean and clear here, right? If we break this uptrend, 455 is the level to watch. If we break 455, it's lights out, right? Below 455, next level is down here at 449, 447, and that's where I'll look for a relief bounce if we get down there, okay? So that's the game plan here on QQQ. Look to go short below 455. Target would be down to that 450, 449 area where we can look to flip long for a relief bounce. In my opinion, this game plan, these levels, line in the sand, anything outside of them, I don't give a fuck about. And yeah, man, that's what I'm watching for the week ahead. Looks very, very good. If I were to make a decision based off the chart, I mean, I would think we would see lower, right? Why? I mean, just look. Drop, base, drop, base, drop. Here we are with another base. As you guys know, though, two things can come from a drop base. And that is why I want to keep my game plan open-ended for the week ahead, right? We can see a drop base rally below this 455, right? Or we could see that drop base, drop base rally above 468, and we could also see that drop base drop below 455. So that's why my game plan is open-ended, plus all of that data and earnings. So I think this is a beautiful chart. I think the market's primed for a big move, and yeah, man, I think if we're gonna make that big move, it would be this week. If we can get that data and that earnings on the same page. Say for example, FOMC is good. Non-farm payrolls is good. Earnings are good. Market will be back at all-time highs, 100%. If we get a bunch on the same page, bad. FOMC is bad. Non-farm's bad. Apple's bad. Amazon's bad. Meta's bad. We're gonna see all right, let's talk big targets, right? Everything's bullish across the board this week. Earnings and data. I would say QQQ is gonna be back at 480, maybe 500. Everything's bad. Right? QQQ 440, 436. Bearish targets be like 433, 436. SPY, I would say everything's bullish. 556, 560. Everything's bearish. 532 or 520. That's what I would say. But here we are with SPY. Pretty much same chart here, as you guys know, with ES. If you look at the monthly chart, same thing I said earlier. This current monthly bar is bearish, right? We failed that previous month's high. We got that long top wick. As always, we look for that confluence and conflict through these time frames. First sign of conflict is here on the weekly. If you look at this weekly chart, it looks, just as I discussed with ES, this looks pretty bullish, right? We're testing this overall uptrend here, this trend line support. We're testing this major demand here. We're kind of just flagging here on the weekly. Looks like we could definitely see a move higher. And that is why I want to be very, very open-minded this week with those catalysts like earnings and data, FOMC, Apple, Amazon, Meta, very big names reporting. But levels to watch here on SPY, right? You guys can see clean and clear. Everybody asked me a million times, why did I take the 547 reject? Why did I take the 548 reject, right? Why? Just look at the chart, right? You guys have attended enough lives to pretty much know and look at the chart and see why I took the trade, right? The reason I was trading that supply is because it was a major supply, right? You guys look at the chart, right? Beautiful, just a classic break and retest, right? Previous support, turn resistance. That was it, right? No calculus equation, no anything out of the ordinary, just trading the chart. That's all I was doing, right? That's all I was doing. Just a beautiful level, right? Same thing with last week. If you guys remember, right? If you guys go back and watch last week's live, this is what the chart looked like, right? When we were doing the Sunday live last week, this is what the chart looked like. Verbatim, I stated, if we pop back into ES, 5630, 5600, that's where I'm going to look for a reject and enter a swing, right? All of my mentees, all of Honey Drip can attest to this. what did ES do? Or everybody can attest to this, right? What did ES do? Right? It popped back into 56.30, and what did I do? Right? I stuck to my game plan. I went short. I signaled a swing for everybody. Why did I signal that swing? You guys can see right here. Right? This is a major, major supply. Right? This is where I went short. This is where I told everybody to go short before it even happened. This was last Sunday. I said, everybody, if we get back up to 56.30, 5600, slam it. Right? It was very, very clear. Right? Last week, slam it if we get back up there. Right? I signaled it for everybody in case you didn't trust your own analysis. Trust mine. Right? And what do we see throughout the last week? An absolute massacre. Right? An absolute massacre. We went short literally right here. Now, I sold a little bit too early. I sold it like 53.50. But we traded the breakdown, and then we caught that bounce. So I was very happy with that. But once that broke down, right, it's the same approach, right? 56.30 was a major support, right? Just look at the chart, guys. This is how the market moves, right? Very simple. Supply to demand, demand to supply. 56.65, 56.60 broke, right? Was a major support. Once it broke, that support turns into resistance. Look for the retest. 56.30 was a major support. It broke, valid for a retest. It turned the retest, right? 55.40 was a major support. It broke, look for the retest. If you notice, that's how the market moves, right? Supply to demand, breaks to demand, back into supply to demand. Supply, demand, right? Supply, demand. That's how the chart moves, right? And we're trading between that. Supply to demand, demand to supply, structure to structure, right? And that's how we're trading, right? It's nothing like, I don't know, people like to overcomplicate it. It's nothing out of the ordinary, right? You just gotta know how to read the chart. These charts are like a book. It tells a story. It gives you hints. There's a storyline, right? You just gotta know how to read it, right? It comes with one, the education aspect, knowing what to look for and knowing when to look for it, along with experience to actually execute. And that, I tell my mentees this, and every single one of my mentees can tell you the same exact thing. I'm not gonna be your best teacher. The market is, right? I give you the blueprint. Taking my mentorship, or anyone's mentorship for that fact, should be like you inputting an address on Waze or Google or Maps, right? You put an address, guess what? Google, Waze, they give you the route. Do they drive it for you? No, they don't. You have to drive it. That's the same thing with the education aspect. I will give you the literal blueprint, right? Plenty of others have driven that blueprint and are now profitable. Why? Because they drove it and followed the instructions. They stuck to the system. If there was a detour, they took the detour. If there was a right turn, they took the right turn. But they still had to drive it. It's the same thing for you guys. You got to get the education aspect. And then experience is going to be your best teacher. That journey getting to your destination, right? That is going to be your best teacher. And that's what I tell everybody. Right? You guys have to follow that approach, right? There's a systematic approach in trading in general, right? 1 is education, 2 is experience, 3 is journaling. It's a fact. It's a fact, right? There's no way around it. There's zero way around it. It's a fact. But anyway, back to SPY, right? So the big levels to watch here, 547, 548, right? You guys can see this is a major, major supply here. We're trading very close to it. But if we showed weakness here, I would be open to a reject, 100%, right? I don't like that it's rejected twice previously, so this would be a risk-off trade for me. My main watch, like I said, I want to talk about line in the sand levels this week. I want to talk a very open-ended game plan because we have major earnings, we have major data, so I want to keep my game plan very open-ended. I want to keep biases free, right? So the main level to watch here is 548. If we get above 548, that's where we can look for those pullbacks to go long. We'll see 550 shortly after, maybe even at 553, 556. If we get back up into 556, that is where I would look for a higher conviction reject, a higher confidence reject. 555, 556. That is where I would look for my main reject off of that supply. Downside here, you guys can see it's very, very clear. We bounced off a major demand here at 537, which was that previous all-time high resistance. This is not the main level. Right? This is a big level, right? If we pulled back into it, we could look for a higher risk bounce. My main watch, though, it's going to be a break and hold below 537 to go short down into 532, 533. 532, 533 is the main demand I want to watch, and you guys can see why. This is the macro demand, right? This is all eyes on me level, right? So the game plan here is if we get weak below 537, look to go short down at this 532, 533 area where we could then flip long for a relief bounce, right? That is the game plan here. If you want to talk about major downside, if we get below 532, this chart opens up pretty much down to 500s. Obviously, there's some minor levels through here, 528, 525, 520, but this chart is sick below 532. So macro levels, like I said, line in the sand levels, a lot of catalysts this week. So 548 to the upside, 537 to the downside. Watch list this week is a little out of the ordinary. I just want to say that first and foremost, right? And you guys probably know why. Majority of the names we trade, Meta, Amazon, Apple, they're reporting earnings. As you guys know, I don't trade any names before earnings. I encourage you guys don't either. But yeah, that's what I'm watching on ES, NQ, SPY, QQQ. Let's get into the individual names for the week ahead. And let's have a good night, y'all. Let's get it. We are going to kick it off tonight with Triple M. One of my favorite names to trade, but it's hard to trade because a lot of times it's not liquid. But after earnings, it's pretty liquid. This is a beautiful chart, right? This is a beautiful chart. And I have a lot of FOMO for valid reason, right? I know a lot of you guys probably remember we entered a swing here. I ended up taking profit right here. Just imagine, right? Imagine you held that long. 75 all the way into 128 on monthly contracts or 2 months out. That'd be like 10,000%. That'd be insane. Anyway, you guys know why I love Triple M. This is a beautiful chart. Had earnings last week. Absolute massive gap up. And this is a great example, right? Great example. This stock had earnings last week. We've seen a major gap up. So now guess what? This is an A+ post-earnings setup. We have the first day move on Friday. We're going to look for that second day continuation above Friday's highs, or we're going to look for that pullback into demand for a bounce. This is the definition of an A+ post-earnings setup. Same thing I'm going to be looking for on Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Coin, SQ, Roku. Gap up, gap down. Look for the second day continuation, or look for the bounce or reject. Very simple, right? Or catch that intraday momentum, right? So with Triple M here, we're going to look for a pullback into 120, 122 for a demand bounce. Or if we can get above 130, right? Above 130, this chart opens up into 134 and then 140. So I like this a lot, regardless of what happens. If we get that move above highs, I'm fine with it. If we get that pullback, I'll be even happier. So this looks very, very good here. You guys know why I'm watching it. And yeah, man, that's what I'm watching there. AVGO, this is another name. I haven't traded it since it split. It just stock split, I think, on the 15th, right? Well, this is a beautiful chart, right? You guys can see why this is a macro break and retest. We have that major resistance here at 144.50, 155.50, and it's currently retesting it as support. This is a macro break and retest. Beautiful, beautiful chart here. I like this a lot, right? As you guys can see, we held this demand last Thursday, kind of just consolidating afterwards. Major level here, right? Look at the significance of this 154, right? We've literally just been pinned below it. Every time we've tested this level, it's been slammed, but we're building into it. And this is why I really like this 154 level. If we can get above 154, I think AVGO can go absolutely parabolic. 160, 165, and these contracts are very liquid. I've been waiting to trade it, and this is our opportunity. So if we can get a pullback in a 144.50, or essentially 144, 145, I would definitely look for a demand bounce there off that macro demand. But my main watch is actually a breakout. Surprising to hear, I know. If we get above 154, longs are definitely on the table. Keep a stop below that 153.50. Look for that move back into 160. I think this chart can go absolutely parabolic, and you guys can see why. Next, we have Google. As you guys can see here, Google got pretty much pummeled last week, down about 15% from all-time highs. Nasty earnings gap down, but now we're trading back into this major demand. So this is why I want to watch Google this week. Have a major demand here at 160, 162. It's also the 0.5 retracement from that recent pullback. Also that 100 demand on the daily. So this is a big area to watch on Google. What I want to watch here is if we can pull back, right? If we can pull back on Google, back into 162, 160 area, we start to show strength there. I 100% would be confident taking a relief bounce here for a move higher. On the other hand, let's say we get strong on Google. If we get above a 170, I think this has squeeze potential back into 173.50 and then 176.50. I think this chart looks very good either way, and I definitely want to keep it on watch. So make sure you guys set your alerts so you don't miss it. Next, we have CRM. This is a chart I really like as well for a very valid reason. Chart's been building pretty nice. Nasty earnings gap down. Put a new high here. Put a new higher low here. Paired with that higher high. Now it's been consolidating. Seeing some strength throughout last week when the market sold off heavily. So I like this as a relative strength name. I think we can see some nice continuation here if we clear this structure at 265. I had this level wrong. I gotta fix that. 266, sorry. So the big level here to watch on CRM is 266. I think if we get above this 266 level, this thing can get back into 275. So this is a name I want to keep on watch. Great relative strength last week. Nice build into this 266. If we can get above that, I think this would be valid for pullbacks. We could target that 275 level for a long target. So this looks very good. Definitely a chart I want to keep on watch. Next, we have Tesla. I know a lot of you guys are probably excited for Tesla. I'll give you guys a second to pull up your Tesla chart. We can go over it together. Let me know when you guys are ready. I'm waiting on you guys. Awesome. Let's get it. So here we are. Tesla, as you guys can see, went parabolic pretty much the previous weeks. Last week, we're starting to see a bit of a pullback, especially after earnings got that big gap down. Right now, we're just trading in between an absolute monumental demand and supply, right? Major demand here, 200, 205. So the game plan is going to be open-ended here. Either we pop back into this 230, 232 area for a higher risk reject, or we pull back into these lows here at 205, 206 at this daily 200 for a demand bounce. Higher conviction demand bounce level would be that 200, 202, but I want to watch both of those levels as they are very, very significant. So Tesla's definitely a watch for me this week, especially with those other names reporting earnings. I think we can definitely get some value from Tesla, and this is a very clean chart. A couple of you guys have asked me, if you want access to this chart, right, where you have to do zero work, that means all my SPY levels, QQQ, SPX, MMM, CRM, every stock, every watch list, every indicator, every level, every color, literally, you click through this watch list, my levels are going to pop up on your chart. If you want access to that, simply go to my website. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's like $10. It's less than like 20 cents a day. I do all the work for you. Very simple. I know a ton of you guys have asked me. I don't like promoting stuff like that, but if you want it, you guys know where to find it. Simple as that. Here, I'll even post a link for you and make it easy for you. There. I'm not a salesy person. If anybody wants to take the mentorship, you know where to find it. Anybody wants my charts, you know where to find it. I'm only gonna post it one time. But alrighty, guys, that's my watch list. Take the next few moments here to answer some questions. We got this giveaway for you guys. Wow, we're very close to another one too. Appreciate you guys, man. You guys are showing a lot of love tonight. Seriously, thank you for taking time out of your Sunday to come kick it. Hopefully, you guys got some value from this. Hopefully, you guys learned something. If you guys have any questions, anything, whether it's trading, something about me, business, crypto, entrepreneurship, whatever it may be, feel free to ask it. We'll take a couple seconds to go over some questions, and then we'll get into the giveaway, and we'll call it a night, all right? Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Nicole, DM, Dom. You got a DM Dom. I think you were from Instagram, right? That's why. That was probably my fault, to be honest. You'll see the instructions in a second. Dom, are you in here? Dom's the man. I suck at doing that shit. I think he's here. There you go. He just posted. Cool. Perfect. Any new merch? Maybe soon. Maybe soon. Maybe soon. Maybe soon. Why do I mainly trade options over? I trade both, to be honest. Lately, I've traded both equally. But I love the options. I guess you could say process. Yeah, I like trading different names. I like trading names like CRM or Triple M, right? With futures, you're just stuck with ES, NQ, IWM. I mean, you could trade other commodities and stuff like that as well, but I'm not too fond of them. Coin, they have earnings this week, so I don't really want to go over the chart right now. I'll go over it later in the week after earnings and post it for you guys, but I don't really want to go over the chart right now because there's not much going on with it. But as these names report earnings, I'll go over them with you guys. So throughout the week, I'll post the chart after earnings. Coin, Amazon, Microsoft, to keep you guys up to date with what I'm watching. For a person making $900 a week with almost no liabilities, no expenses, you mean? I'm not sure. What do you recommend best if I was making $900 a week? $900 a week, that's 18. What's that? $3,600 a month. I mean, depends how much you're actually taking home. You know what I mean, after expenses and everything like that. But it depends on what you want to do, man. I mean, I feel like that's most important. But if I was making $3,600 a week, oh man, or a month, man, I feel like that's tough. I feel like living situation nowadays is like $2K a month minimum. So that's like if I'm going based off of like $3,600 a month, you have a monthly payment. Let's say $1,500 for that leaves you with $2,100. Then you have a car payment. Then you have insurance. You're left with like $800 a month. So I'm not sure. I don't really know your expenses situation, all that, but. I can't accurately speak on it. IWM. Let's see. I think this chart looks good. I mean, it's you guys can see just as well as I can. This chart's been absolutely parabolic lately. I love it. Right, I love this chart. If it gets above 227, if IWM gets above 227, 100% would look for those pullbacks to go long. 228.50's first target. Second target, we have nothing but room at 235. On the other hand, if we pull back 218, 215, we can look for a demand bounce there. So IWM looks good. It's looked good for a while now. It's traded very well. It's been one of the strongest out of those 3 ETFs, so I like it a lot. IWM looks good. FSLR. I mean, it's a name that trades kind of weird due to being liquid, but sometimes after earnings I like to trade it because the contracts are more liquid. But yeah, solid SKC Snake, everything. How often do I add to my long-term portfolio? I add on significant dips. So right now nothing's dipped enough. But all right, let's do this giveaway. First keyword is gonna be JPOW. So all you gotta do, type in the chat one time, JPOW, you're good to go. Oh wow, okay, so you guys just hit the next goal. So I owe you guys another one. I want to go ahead and fix that now. So we'll do this one, then we'll do one more after, and we'll call it a night. All you gotta do is type JPOW and you're good to go. If we somehow, I'll be on live for another 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. If we somehow hit that 500 like goal, I'll pick one person to give $500 to. We can do it that way. Pick one person to give 500, or we can do 5 people $100. Whatever y'all want to do. But you have to hit the 500 like goal within the next 10 minutes. So if you haven't liked it, be sure to like it. Regardless, man, whether you guys like it or not, I appreciate every single one of you guys for taking time out of your Sunday to come kick it. You guys, I know I get absolutely nothing from this. I do it because I want to do it. I want to prepare you guys. I want to help you guys learn, right? I've been doing it for years. I plan on to continue doing it. And yeah, man, I just appreciate you guys. Alrighty, we'll give it 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. Damn, this shit's taking forever tonight. The chef eats. The chef eats. The chef eats. Where you at? If you see your name pop up on the screen here nice and big, be sure to type as soon as possible so you can get locked in. where you at? The Chef Eats. I know there's a little delay, so I'll give you a second. I owe you guys one more giveaway, so hang around for a second. The Chef Eats. Where you at? The Chef Eats. Here we go. Attended 3 lives. Nice. Congratulations. I'm going to send your name over to Dom right now. Boom. There we go. Alrighty. Let's clear this. Second one's going to be Turbo. All you got to do is type Turbo in the chat one time. And this is for the second giveaway. If you guys can get it to 500 before this is done, I'll do another one. I'll pick one person to $500, or we do 5 people for 100. I don't give a fuck. Let's get it. We got 515 people in here. So definitely possible. I know a few of you guys are probably hate watchers. I'm not mad at you, but it is what it is. Alright, let's get it. Did I do it? If I win, everybody's gotta send me $1. That's how it works. So just a heads up. Honestly, I'm probably going to make that a rule moving forward. I mean, I can't make it a rule right now. I think that would be unfair. But moving forward, I think you're going to have to attend at least 3 or 5 lives in order to win. Just so it's fair to people who have been here longer. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you call it? Seniority wins? We'll do that. Alrighty, let's put a timer here. 10 seconds. Good luck, everybody. Yeah, we'll do that moving forward. You got to attend at least 3 or 5 lives. Maybe 5. We'll see. All right, 1 second. Good luck, everybody. Yeah, we'll definitely do that moving forward. We'll make that so it's fair to people who've been here a while. If you've attended more than 10 lives, yeah, I'm going to restructure the giveaways. I'm going to restructure the giveaways. Bryden, Carroll. Where you at? Yeah, I'm going to restructure them. So moving forward, next week, you got to attend at least 3 or 5. Not sure, I haven't made it up yet. If you've attended more than 10 lives, automatically double the giveaway money. Automatically. Bryden Carroll, where are you at? Bryden Carroll. Clean Conscious is still the biggest winner of all time. He won like $360 one time. $360, $370. Bryden Carroll, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lives you have. Nice, man. It's a good winner. It's a good winner. Watch this. This is how you shake people out. I'm about to tick people's stop losses, and we're gonna see who sticks to their stop loss or not. Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna call it a night. I will see you guys, majority of you guys, tomorrow for live trading. We got an absolute major week ahead. You guys know why. You guys know what we're watching. Yeah, man, it's going to be a big week. I'm super excited for it. Yeah, man, that's it. Just got a big week. These are the weeks we look forward to. This is where the real money's made. We got to lock in, got to focus, get some good rest, y'all. Make sure you prepare. Always remember, if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. So make sure you guys are getting up in the morning, giving yourself adequate time to get ready, wipe the crusties out of your eyes, and get going, all right? So once again, man, appreciate every single one of you guys for taking time out of your Sunday to come kick it with me tonight. If you guys enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like button. You guys already know the vibes, man. The Chef Eats, congratulations. Bryden Carroll, congratulations. I'm going to pick one more winner. I just wanted to talk a little bit first for all the people who are only here for the giveaways. They left already. So we'll go ahead and run it back real quick. I'm going to clean this, and we're going to make the keyword SL for stop loss. Some of those people got their stop loss hit, and now they're missing out watching the trade one without him. So type SL in the chat one time. I'm going to give it 30 seconds starting right now. Good luck, everybody. For all the people that stuck to the stop loss, we're here. Let's go. Look at that. Over 100 people left. Over 100 people left. Good. The odds are very good to win too. The odds are not bad. It's like 1 in 400. That's not too bad, to be honest. It's really not bad. It's really not bad, to be honest. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Good luck, everybody. You gotta throw them off their game a little bit. All those fucking hate watchers, man. It's in here lurking. That's a fucking good winner right there, man. My boy Shy. I know he's been... How many lives have you attended? Let me see. I would say at least like 2 years. Did you create a new YouTube? That's a good fucking winner right there. I think he's attended like 15, 20. That's a great winner there. Shout out to my man Shay, man. Let's go. It's a good winner. Good winner, man. Good winner. Yes, sir, man. I had to stop some people out. I had to shake them out of the trade. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Appreciate you guys, man. As always, Shay, Bryden, the Chef Eats. Be sure to read the pinned message to claim your money. Appreciate you, Dom. You're the best, brother. Appreciate all you guys. And yeah, man, I hope you guys have a great night. I will see you guys, majority of you guys, bright and early tomorrow. And yeah, man, you guys know the vibes, man. I hope everybody has a great week. Hope everybody gets some good rest. You guys have a good night, everybody. Catch y'all later. Peace.